Good afternoon and welcome to our special report on hydraulic fracturing, or fracking. Natural gas is trapped deep under the Earth's surface in shale deposits. In order to extract the natural gas, the fracking process requires the companies to drill deep into the Earth's surface. A combination of water, sand, and chemicals called fracking liquid is pumped deep into the earth. Once the fracking liquid has been sent down the wells into the shale layer, the resulting pressurization literally breaks the rock, thus releasing natural gas for the companies to collect. Fracking has become a common practice across the U.S., especially in the Northeast. Recent exploration of the Marcellus Shale deposits has yielded millions of cubic meters of natural gas, contributing significantly to a region previously in desperate need of economic vitality. Other countries across the world are hoping to cash in too. South Africa has recently lifted a moratorium on fracking in its Karoo region. We wanted to find out more about fracking in the U.S. in order to shed some light on the economic boom heading South Africa's way. This farmer has made thousands and thousands of dollars, but why does he look so sad? We sent our industry correspondent, Lucinda Shale, into the field.
We're here on Frank Bunson's farm. Mr. Bunson was approached 2 years ago by a natural gas corporation in order to purchase the fracking rights to his land. There's literally a fortune of natural gas trapped underneath his farm. It was Mr. Bunson's big payday.
The cows started dying about June, and that's when I thought maybe there was a problem. I cashed the first checks, $150,000. Betty bought the vet. Pretty much once they started drilling and jacking that stuff into the ground, that was it. Late July, it started to get worse. She couldn't feel her feet anymore. She said she had numbness, she had tingling, and I thought it's typical. We got our second check in August. I knew there was a problem, but I still cashed it. I could smell and taste in the water. I was sick of her vomiting, but it was hard when she ran away. I mean, I loved that woman. I think she's in Mexico. But I don't know how I'm gonna replace the pigs. I can take a lot. Numbness, tingling. Started to not be able to breathe. Nausea. Reminded me of when I was a kid and had asthma. My head started to hurt every day. I kind of lose track. Headaches, eye irritations, like my eye was burning or like sand in my eyes. Couldn't catch my breath. I wake up shaking. Felt like I had the flu. The doctor called it a convulsion. When my organs started failing, I knew there was a problem. People in these parts are tough, so they usually don't report organ failure until they're dead. I hated to be a whiner, but I knew I needed my liver.
We invited an energy company CEO to tell us more.
What is your corporation's interest in the Karoo region of South Africa?
The Karoo region sits on top of the 5th largest natural shale reserves in the world. If we extract just 6% of the gas there, we could generate $115 billion for South Africa.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. It's not just us making money, it's South Africa making money. It's jobs and it's energy. Green Energy International cares about the Karoo region. We want to protect it, and the best way to protect something is to make it worth something. And that's what we are doing here.
I understand that the South African government recently lifted the moratorium on fracking. Is that true?
We are pleased that the government, on further scientific review, has lifted the fracking moratorium.
The Karoo is just 800 miles of desert, after all. There's probably not very much out there anyway.
Right now, it's not really doing anything for anyone. It's just sitting there.
Except for animals.
Except for animals.
Can you describe hydraulic fracturing, or fracking as it's more commonly known?
Hydraulic fracturing is a very natural, very clean process. There is nothing mysterious about it. This is not nuclear energy. This is not solar energy, which is essentially radiation, let's not forget. Hydraulic fracturing simply involves pumping large amounts of water and sand into the earth to break rocks. Once those rocks are broken, the natural gas seeps out and we siphon it off.
Is there a difference between natural gas and other sources of energy?
Natural gas is by definition natural. It's clean, it's better than coal.
It's got natural right in the title. What would you say to those that claim that there are health concerns associated with fracking?
I haven't heard any of those things. There is no data. We've been waiting for the EPA in the United States to come out with a study for some time. They haven't come out with one. Some people might think that's because they found nothing. Let's not forget that hydraulic fracturing creates jobs. I think these health experts should probably weigh the risks of alleged environmental contamination against the risks of not eating.
After all, it's only water and sand.
Mostly water and sand. There may be trace other.
And 1% chemicals.
1% is kind of small.
How bad could it really be?
And let's not forget, people throw around this word, chemicals. Everything is a chemical. We abide by all regulations, even when there aren't any.
With all of the animals and natural landscapes, some people want to protect the Karoo.
Look, the area is practically abandoned. There are a handful of animals and strange nomadic people who nobody can even talk to.
True.
As I mentioned earlier, the Karoo region is a desert. I'm sure a little water won't hurt.
How bad could water be for the desert?
Even with all of this money being made, there are people out there who say no to fracking. After consulting with our translators, we realized that this environmentalist enthusiasm was not for money, rather about the health effects of fracking.
Es horrible. Es horrible. Es un desastre. Y va a ser un desastre económica también. Aquí, en el Karoo, la economía es casi todo son granjas de ovejas. Las ovejas necesitan agua y no pueden tomar el agua. El problema que tenemos con todo esto del hydraulic fracturing en el Karoo es que primero el Karoo es un desierto. Hay muy poca agua ahí y estas operaciones van a contaminar la agua que hay. Necesitan esa agua para las granjas de ovejas que tienen y también lo necesitan para tomar. Han encontrado que las concentraciones de metano están muy elevadas en la agua que está ahí por las operaciones del hydraulic fracturing. Los niños, los animales, la gente, los árboles, todo va a morir. Va a estar muerto, muerto, muerto. Y cuando está muerto, ya no, eso no es algo que se puede deshacer, ¿no? Ahí en Pennsylvania, donde están haciendo este fracturing, la agua se prende, así nomás. ¡Fum! No quieren hydraulic fracturing aquí. Estas agentes químicas son horribles para tu salud. En el momento causan náusea, vomitando, irritación de la piel. Sobre tiempo van a destruir tus órganos y además son agentes carcinógenos. Tenemos que estar muy cuidadosos en lo que estamos haciendo. Estas empresas a ellos no les importan. Ellos van a venir, van a tomar el gas natural y van a salir con su dinero. Y lo que van a dejar atrás va a ser un desastre. El gobierno necesita regular lo que está pasando o no dejar que entran las empresas.
Should the world continue into its exploration of fracking, or are the health effects just too costly? You decide. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to our special report.